shooting her toddler in East Macon faced a judge today. We'll take you inside the courtroom and break down the latest on the investigation. Former Vice President Kamala Harris in Central Georgia tonight sharing her presidential campaign stories live in Macon.
But I would really like to hear from her, like how she feels.
We'll take you live to the auditorium with a preview.
That's our history. We can never change it. We'd be foolish not to learn from our history.
Perry City Council approved plans to relocate a Confederate statue. We'll tell you what comes next in the project. 13 WMAZ News at 6 starts now. New tonight, the man accused of killing a Macon mom and shooting her 2-year-old daughter made his first court appearance this afternoon.
34-year-old Marquise Brooks appeared before a magistrate judge and was ordered to have no contact with the victim's family. Carmen Brown was in the courtroom and shares the latest.
Marquise Brooks appeared before a magistrate judge just after 1:30 this afternoon. When asked if he understood the charges before him, he said he didn't. That's when Brooks then requested what's called a commitment hearing.
That's where prosecutors have to present their evidence to a judge and prove there's probable cause to hold him on these charges. Brooks is accused of shooting 28-year-old Ayanna Smith and her 2-year-old daughter on Fulton Street around 8:30 Tuesday night. Smith later died at the hospital about an hour after the shooting. Her daughter remains hospitalized in stable condition. Deputies say they arrested Brooks at the scene after talking with witnesses who identified him as the shooter. Investigators tell us this is being treated as a domestic-related incident. They say Brooks and Smith were in a relationship in the past, but they haven't released details on what led up to the shooting. At Wednesday's hearing, the magistrate judge barred Brooks from making any contact with Smith's family members. No bond was set.
Now his attorney can petition Superior Court for a bond hearing at a later date. Brooks is currently charged with aggravated assault and murder. Reporting in Macon, Carmen Brown, 13 WMAZ News.
Coroner Leon Jones told us Ayanna Smith's 2-year-old daughter was airlifted to an Atlanta hospital in stable condition.
The coroner also told us she still has a bullet inside her body and cell phone fragments in her arm. According to Jones, this is the first homicide in Bibb County this month. So far this year, Bibb County has had 6 homicides. Half of them have been women.
Just into the 13 WMAZ newsroom, a portion of I-75 South closed in Dooley County. Crews blocked all lanes to put out this fiery crash involving an 18-wheeler. You can see flames and smoke plumes filling the sky in this video from Shane Shiflett. We're still working to learn if anyone was hurt. GDOT expects the area to be cleared around 6:45, but that time frame could get extended.
And right now in Monroe County, authorities are investigating after the discovery of what they believe are partial human remains. They were found in a wooded area near Rumble Road. Investigators say a construction worker discovered the remains while working there. The remains were not buried, but right now they aren't releasing any further details.
Twiggs County authorities searching for the driver who hit and killed 52-year-old Andrea Anderson. It happened around 6:15 Tuesday night on Highway 96 near Gallimore Mill Road. Deputies say they're looking for a silver Dodge pickup with front end damage and a broken passenger side headlight. Anyone with information is asked to call the Twiggs County Sheriff's Office at 478-945-3357.
More news headlines coming your way in just a few moments, but first, a check on tonight's forecast with Ben.
Guys, we've had the temperature thing going great for the past couple of days, 70 plus. Today we just threw in a little bit of rain, and now most of that's trying to slide on out. But as it's leaving, we are seeing a sunset going on in a few spots. This is Warner Robins out toward the west. Other places may be a little bit more of a challenge if you still have some rain going through. 68 is the current number. As we head toward tomorrow morning, the rain will leave. Upper 30s moving in, so not super cold, but not the 50s that we had this morning. Great stuff tomorrow. Friday looks great. Still kind of that same plan as we go into the weekend, where Saturday is the better day of the two to be outdoors. There's a small chance there, but Sunday looks locked down with some steady rain coming through most of the day. A lot of 60s on the board, still 70 plus as you get in our southern counties, but not far from seeing 50s up top, because that's where the cooler air is coming in from the northwest, and you can see a little breeze occasionally from that way. Taking away the clouds, our northern half is empty. As we roll on down, we can see most of the rain clearing underneath Warner Robins. We just showed you there with the sky cam shot a minute ago. Maybe get another shot of rain in a few spots. but then this is all going to clear on out as we go through the next couple of hours. So the focus then turns towards Sunday for the next biggest rain chance. We'll see what the models are thinking about it as of Wednesday night. Comes up in a few.
All right, thank you, Ben. Election season, back for some Central Georgia voters and some candidates.
Today is the first day of qualifying for the District 5 Commission seat. Bibb County called for a special election after former District 5 Commissioner Seth Clark announced his run for Lieutenant Governor. Qualifying runs through Friday with a $450 filing fee. Election day is March 17th.
Voters in District 18 are voting for their next state senator. Democrat Lamario Brand and Republican Stephen McNeil are competing in a runoff for that seat. Early voting goes through this Friday. Election day is next Tuesday. If you want to learn more about the two candidates, you can watch our full interviews with both of them right now on 13 WMAZ Plus. Download the Plus app on your TV and watch for free.
And from local elections to the visit of a former presidential candidate. Kamala Harris is bringing her presidential campaign stories to Central Georgia. Tonight, she's sharing them live in Macon. Harris is expected to take the stage at the Macon City Auditorium in just about an hour. Jasmine Lee is live at the auditorium with a preview.
Yeah, that's right, Frank and Lori. This is former Vice President Kamala Harris' first time in Macon, but it's also her first stop in Georgia as part of her tour. The book is called 107 Days, where she talks a little bit about her campaign when she ran for president back in 2024 when former President Joe Biden dropped out. Again, that book called 107 Days talks a little bit about her limited time she had during that national campaign before the general election. Her appearance in Georgia is significant as the state remains a key political battleground following the 2024 election. Political observers say events like this can serve as an opportunity for former candidates to reflect on their campaigns while remaining engaged in national political conversations. Macon is also one of the only two Georgia stops on her current tour.
I'm hoping that she says something about the current administration and its failures and hopefully relate back to something like a small town like Macon. I'm from around here, so it's very cool to see someone from her level come down here and speak to us.
Now, Frank and Lori, another thing I wanted to mention is the crowd behind me, how it's growing slowly and people are waiting to get inside. We're live in Macon. Jasmine Lee, 13 WMAZ News.
Thank you, Jasmine. Again, former Vice President Kamala Harris is going to be speaking tonight at 7 o'clock. Jasmine will have an update for us tonight at 10 and 11.
Perry City Council unanimously voted to move ahead with Phase 2 of the Legacy Park development. That includes relocating a more than 100-year-old Confederate statue from the City Hall lawn to its new spot at Legacy Park. That's just outside downtown on Carroll and Main Streets. Elizabeth Hunter talked with city leaders to find out more about the statue moving.
A statue that has long looked over downtown Perry is being relocated.
That's our history. We can never change it. We'd be foolish not to learn from our history.
Its new home will be Legacy Park, a park dedicated to veterans and those who have served. Joy Peterson says she doesn't see any place better for it.
I'm happy that its new location has been approved by the Daughters of the Confederacy.
Peterson says the cost to move it concerns her, but she's happy it's not coming out of her property taxes.
Perry needs to be closely monitoring the money that it spends. I am consoled by the fact that all the work in the park is being done by SPLOST money.
City Manager Robert Smith says Phase 2 of the park will cost almost $600,000 from SPLOST funds. The monument relocation alone accounting for more than $130,000 of that. Smith says council moved forward for two main reasons.
In order to pay homage to all of these soldiers that have passed away from Perry and the various conflicts over the years. Also, too, we wanted to be able to utilize the downtown City Hall lawn space for events.
The initial vote to move the statue happened back in 2024. Last week's action greenlit the full Phase 2 project and estimated prices. In Perry, Elizabeth Hunter, 13 WMAZ News.
Smith says they don't have a date yet for when the statue will be moved. This isn't the first time a statue's been moved in Central Georgia. Crews moved two Confederate monuments out of downtown Macon in 2022. The Cotton Avenue statue and the Women of the South monument were both moved to Whittle Park, which is right outside Rose Hill Cemetery. The relocation came after years of debate and a 2020 County Commission vote. Under Georgia law, cities cannot simply remove monuments. They must be moved to another public location. Valentine's Day just 3 days away, and flower shops are feeling the pressure. Record-breaking spending expected this year. We'll hear from a local florist who says the last-minute rush can be a bit overwhelming.
As we go to break, we are celebrating 100 years of Black history. Today, we honor Macon native Beverly Harvard. In 1994, Harvard made history by becoming the first African-American woman to lead a major police department in the United States as Atlanta's police chief. The Ballard Hudson High School graduate joined the force in 1973 and worked her way to the top. To learn more about Beverly Howard, head to 13wmaz.com or watch 13WMAZ+. Valentine's Day, it's just 3 days away and love is officially in the air, but so is a lot of spending. $25 billion to be exact. Valentine's Day is one of the biggest retail holidays of the year, with Americans expected to spend billions on flowers, chocolate, jewelry, and dinner reservations. The average person spends about $200 on Valentine's Day, and it's not just for couples. More friends, families, and even pet owners are joining in on the celebration. As for flowers, about 1 in 3 shoppers will buy a bouquet, but some florists say the rush of late orders can be overwhelming. Maz and Rick spoke with one Macon flower shop owner preparing for the busy holiday.
Good morning, petals.
This is a familiar sound.
Okay, so we have a new order.
The sound
Okay.
of new orders coming in.
Valentine's is like taking all of our flower orders for a month and putting them all on 1 or 2 days.
One day out of the year when things get a little hectic.
And then all of a sudden, the phone's ringing off the hook. There's, 3 people up there that want something made custom.
Custom orders Lynn Stevens has been filling for over 20 years, and this holiday is no exception.
It drives florists crazy because we're on pins and needles going, are we going to sell these flowers? Because men typically order last minute.
A last-minute feeling.
It's all about prep work today before we start on tomorrow. So before we get inundated with orders.
They prepare for in advance. Right now, there's no one here, but as we get closer to Valentine's Day, it'll get busy. So you'll see a lot more flower designers here ready to make a perfect bouquet. And despite the busyness, it's the joy they bring to others that keeps flower designers like Katie Morgan going.
Seeing somebody smile over a bouquet of flowers, that's what makes this worth it. That's what makes this fun, because you are bringing a light to somebody's day.
Reporting in Macon, Madison Ricks, 13 WMAZ News.
Despite higher sales, Stevens says with more traffic comes higher costs, and she says they don't really see as much of a profit as you might think. Stevens says they also have to rent extra vehicles for deliveries and pay overtime as designers work around the clock. She says they'll bring in more help to get their orders out and make sure every customer is happy. And Valentine's Day doesn't stop at the florist. Love is taking over one downtown Macon bar. Switch Macon transformed into a full-on Valentine's pop-up, and business owners say business is booming again after a slow start to the year. Part owner Jordan Kirksey says he wanted a space that always feels like a party.
People love that it changes themes, they love the decor, they love the drinks. We've gotten big reviews on our service. I think that it was just a different niche of a bar that Macon really needed, and everybody's thoroughly enjoyed it.
The Valentine's theme runs through the 28th. Then the bar will change its theme for the Cherry Blossom Festival.
Team USA is climbing the ranks. What's the latest medal count from the 2026 Winter Olympics? And local stars are hitting the next level. Check out where these Royals are headed after graduation.
Average high this time of year is 63. We were closer with the morning low than the daytime high, 74. Okay, it's still a little bit of rain in some of our southern counties. That's going to be leaving. Next chance will be more so Sunday. I'll show you the timing still to come.